All right, good Sunday morning and evening for those that are going to be watching from Denmark and all the corners of the world. I've got a bit of a mystery filled band on the podcast today. Second of which is Masked that I've had on to interview. I want to try and get more bands on that do this because I really love the way it gets you really curious to know about the image and everything. But the band is called Sypher, and I'm really excited to get to know the both of you and more about the band and the music and the reasons for Sypher coming into existence. So, welcome on to the podcast.
Thank you, Will. We will try to answer as good as possible. Yes, and we're very pleased to be here today.
Thank you. Hopefully, it's a good time for you. I try and provide the best, funnest experience I can. I'm not a professional by any means, but I've got enough of these under my belt now where I feel like I'm at least somewhat versed at it, at least to a degree. So, yeah, I guess we could start with whatever you guys could say about the reasons for Sypher beginning and basically becoming something that's creating.
Well, I'm Leader, and this is Glitch, and we have both been playing in another band for many years.
Mm-hmm.
And that band is no more.
Okay.
And for several years, we have talked about this Masked project. We have been inspired by bands like Slipknot and Ghost, all those old school guys doing the Skies thing. And well, now was the time. We killed the other project, if you can say so we could start this one. So for maybe 4 years, we have been thinking about this, and now we released our first song 5 months ago, Until I Sleep, as you know.
Yes,
and
great song.
Connect right now. Was it 2 weeks ago or something? Yeah, I think
something like that.
Something like that. And we have been so thrilled about how people are receiving these songs, and it's just fantastic. We're really pleased. That's
I'm
that's
glad
for sure.
to hear it's been good so far. And what about for you, Glitch? How has it been for you with the ride so far?
Like Leader said, it's been almost already 4 years in the making. We started with the idea of I want to play in a band where we wear masks, and I was like that too. And then we came together and we needed some more people to get along on the ride. Then you have the next step, what music are you going to make? In the other band we had, we didn't really make the music we wanted. We made the music we wanted at the time we formed the band. But then as you grow older, you want something new and you listen to something other. So it was the time to making a switch in what kind of music we were listening to and what kind of music we wanted to play. So that was the idea, to make music that we wanted to listen to ourselves and only make the music for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of, you don't know who we are, so you really have to listen to the music and don't be sort of caught up in who are these persons, but do I like this music or not?
Yeah, no, that's great. I actually really agree with you about the whole the mask thing, being anonymous. Some folks, I'm sure you've seen this with bands that you guys listen to that wear the mask. I mean, just for example, Slipknot, they had a lot of I don't want to call it scrutiny, but skepticism about their I guess their intent, how genuine they were as musicians, how serious, because of the mask. And typically over here, I don't know about where you're from, but over here, people like to call stuff like that gimmicky or a gimmick, right? And it kind of takes away like a seriousness to the music, which I disagree with that entirely, because for you guys, you mentioned it's about the music. It's about how it connects with people that connect, your new song Connect. And that, so anonymous, the music speaks for itself. It draws attention away from who you are individually, and people just, like you said, focus on the music. They focus on the words. They focus on the imagery, like I've been doing. I've been trying to decipher, in a manner of speaking, what's going on, with Sypher. So I think it's brilliant. I really, really think it was the right choice, and it makes me feel good that you, as a band, are happy so far with how things have been going for Sypher, that you feel more fulfilled in this venture, and you're truly 100% doing it the way you want to do it. So that's great to hear.
And also, it's for once funny or fun to create music again. We have been, a bit bored and burned out in the other process, and now it's just like we get a lot of energy from doing this and creating this universe with the AI and well, it's in the time right now, so it fits right in.
It does, 100%. So the sound, the image that's cultivated with the anonymity. I described the music when I first contacted you guys, and you wanted kind of just a taste of what I might ask you and where my understanding was for Sypher in general. And I mentioned that to my ears, there's some kind of like a futuristic thing going on, something a little bit industrial, So did it take some time when you stepped away from that other project and you put it to bed well, there was 4 years, like you've been saying, of this, coming to fruition and songs being released, but was there any a lot of fooling around with the sound in general before you decide this is right for us, what we hear now?
Yeah. So at first, the name itself, Sypher, it stands from two different things. It's like sci-fi, Sypher, and you have deciphering, Sypher. And already there we had this futuristic idea that we wanted to make something with more synth and more bouncy and samples elements. But at the first time we started the project, our idea was actually to make something like dubstep with metal, but that really didn't catch because we were not no near perfect enough to make dubstep with metal.
It's a bit complicated.
So we came up with a different kind of angle to it.
Yeah, and also the fact that I have never been a producer before, and I have never produced anything demo-wise. So that began a year ago or something. So my learning curve have been really
steep.
Yeah. And so we are learning and we are adapting to how we can expand this music project we have. We're learning new ways to do stuff, and it's just an experience.
It's the first time for us to make our own demos. Like in the old band, you sat together and you formed the music, and you go to the studio to record it. Yeah. Now we're trying to learn to mix it together on a computer and try to really make it as perfect as possible, putting samples in, twitch it here and there, for then going to the studio and create it with the live sound afterwards.
In Connect, we have this synthesizer lead doing the theme, and that part has been recorded at home and is not from the studio. We know personally Niklas Sonne, a great musician in Denmark, and we are every time we go to his studio because of, well, first of all the friendship, but also the sound. He is a fantastic engineer in the music industry, and he really makes that hardcore mix stand out. It's really good.
He's very honest. So, like, if you know something don't seem like he thinks it's working or not, he says it to you. He's that doesn't work. Try something else, and we can try something else, or we can actually say no, we really want this to be in the song. And he's like, all right, it's your song. So we have this back and forth where you're actually getting told you could take this somewhere else and you listen. And it was actually his first time too making this kind of music. So we were all in a kind of process together where he was like, I don't know, guys, I've never done this thing before. I don't know exactly what sound you want. And we were like, you're killing it. We're trying to do it this way. And he just did it perfect.
Yeah, that got to feel really great to have someone like him that could pull that out of you and elevate you. He challenges you, and of course, you guys want to stand your ground at times and challenge his, the process that he's trying to apply to the music. But just the relationship in general sounds like it's just perfect for you guys. It's like a symbiosis of some kind, because I hear it in the music, with what I've heard. And just to say, I think that the learning curve that you guys have had between the two songs that are out now, I think you're definitely on the right track. You guys sound great. Everything sounds, really thought out. I know that it might feel like in the process of doing it that you're completely ignorant to everything, right? But you're still musicians though at the same time, so you still kind of you've got that understanding of a creative process, at least in that respect, right? So you're talking about like the producing things and learning stuff like that. You've got that knack or that natural instinct and ability for you guys in the first place. So I think that's another reason why it's working so well and you're getting the results that you are. For
Thank you
sure.
very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Those are some kind words.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man.
And some days you could sit and grind this music production for 6 or 8 hours straight with no food or drinking, and you just go fatigued because nothing came out. It's
Yeah.
not like you're creative all the time, but sometimes. Well, actually, the riff to "Until I Sleep" happened while I was walking around my living room, back and forth, and just wait a second. There's something.
Uh-huh.
Then I went straight to the computer, grabbed my guitar, and plugged it in and created the demo for "Until I Sleep." And yeah.
Are you meaning the intro riff or just the riff in general that we hear through the song?
Primarily the intro riff.
Yeah, that grabbed me when I first heard it, and I clicked on because I think I found you on YouTube or Instagram, one of the two, and the way the song starts hooked me within like 2 seconds. It is mainly because of the riff for the intro. It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, job very well done for that track or the riff there, and just in general the whole thing. I want to ask you guys about starting with "Until I Sleep." So, trying to think of how you guys can answer this, and I feel like you will know once I ask it. So, I mentioned in the initial questions that I sent to you that I feel like there's something that's meant to be deciphered with what's being transmitted with the at the time "Until I Sleep," because that's the song that was out. So you've explained why the name and the spelling, and we know what a cipher is. You decode it to understand it, draw something from it. As far as messages go, or significance of meaning with "Until I Sleep," what is there that you could tell me about that song as far as some kind of meaning, and if I'm onto something at all, without revealing more than what you want to?
Well, first of all, "Until I Sleep" was like the birth of the band, and we, with the other project that we had before Sypher, we were trying to light up different things about human nature and behaviorism.
Mm-hmm.
And those aspects are still some kind of into this. So that's the most human song that we wrote so far. And standing, looking in the mirror with suicidal tendencies, and you just feel like a complete shithead.
Yeah.
And the enemy in that song is more like a Phantom Menace. You know,
Okay.
It's the AI.
Okay.
And in Connect, the next one, we're trying to make it a little bit clearer that things are getting off hand right now, and there are some subtle things in the music video, lore-wise, that you could catch, and every video is somehow connected. So there's some kind of lore if you dig in, and we are going to expand on that with the next song. You know, it's kind of we're creating a universe.
I like that. That's part of what's so awesome because I could tell that because I rewatched through the video for Until I Sleep this morning, and then I watched the video for Connect, and that you do see how they come together in some way, and you do spot like the Easter eggs or whatever callbacks and things like that, and kind of in some ways what you're trying to get across. Because you're right, man. Like things all around the world are just insane right now. Like there's a lot of discord. AI is just all over the place for better or worse. Good uses or bad uses of that. I mean, over here in the States, we're not any better off than a lot of other part of the world. We have our own issues over here too, and so I like to escape into music like what Sypher's making, that's stating that stuff, that's putting an eye or putting like a magnifying glass or whatever you want to say on things like that. Because while it sucks to pay attention to that and it can bring you down, the other side of that is that there should still be that awareness to it so you don't get so consumed by it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So, what could you say about all that, Glitch? You have anything you could add?
No, not at the moment, because right now we're still in a progress of making the law as we go. You have like these paths you're treading, and then you decide where you're going. And we're still in that process of where this law is going right now. We're getting there, and as a leader is telling, it's like human becoming more AI and AI becoming more in the part of the world in good or bad ways.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's a lot to map that stuff out. It can't just pop out of nowhere a lot of the time. So, maybe you could answer this. Is it what kind of breaks do you guys have to take at times when you're trying to think up like this lore and you're mapping it out and you're connecting it to the songs? Is that process something that keeps you guys up through the night because you can't go to sleep because your mind's so alive with the ideas and everything? Is that how it is for you sometimes?
Well, sometimes I find it personally hard to sleep because when you are an artist, sometimes your brain functions best at night. and,
Yeah.
and when you're laying on the pillow, all those riffs and ideas, and the other night I actually wrote to Glitch because I had this idea for a music video, and it's an idea I can't say anymore, but it's an idea for the next one that is to come, that I was like, oh man, you have to listen to this, and he didn't respond at first because it was late at night and all that stuff. But sometimes shit just comes right out your brain, and so you have to catch the ball when it comes at you.
I understand that completely. Yeah, go ahead.
You really want to try to make music all the time. That's the way I see it. I want to make music 24/7, but then you got like some days where you just can't find what is this song about, what should the groove be, what is the riff, which is frustrating you because you want to make that song to be finished, but you can't do that. So you also got to relax and have a break too, and just put it away and go like in 1 week we're gonna take it up again, and then we're gonna finish the song. We have I think at the moment 3 songs we're working on at the same time, because when you're fatigued with one song, you have to move to another to get your focus away, and sometimes you just have to put music away totally and just relax and let your head find a way somehow.
Yeah, you have to breathe. You can't always do it.
You can't force it, no.
Yeah, no, definitely don't force things. Definitely take those breaks. Definitely take a step back, because you'll burn yourselves out. The creating music and just creating in general is a good release. You could take things that you're internalizing and express them, but you got to sometimes take a step back from that too, because that could be almost as exhausting as keeping something inside too. So I get that. Sorry, my kid's climbing. Um, so I want to kind of talk about the videos a little bit. I was noticing in the one for Disconnect, and this might not be something you could divulge, but I'm going to ask it anyhow and see how you respond. What they were going around with, they would open up something and they were pulling things out, and there's like this red light or something like that, and it looked like it could have been like a hospital or something, or some kind of facility, because I think with Until I Sleep, it looks like it's filmed in some kind of a warehouse or a building of some sort. And I was thinking to myself, so they're wearing like these like gas mask looking things. You guys are in your usual garb, the mask and the like kind of black, clothing and everything. And you, Lita, you're walking around through the music video, and your bandmates are playing. It shows shots of them. Is it depicting some sort of something that's being kept under wraps, and you're kind of pursuing to get like an attention to it, like get it out there in some way? I'm probably way off, but that's kind of what I was taking from it. Like what?
Yeah, you're right. It's definitely up to your own interpretation. But our own idea for the video was like this kind of underground facility, like a bunker. But another person could think of it as a hospital or a military facility. But in our head, it's like this underground facility bunker, and you have something in your hands that the publicity doesn't have to know yet, because you have the knowledge they don't, and it's just terrible.
Actually, the documents that were in the video had some maps on it with some targets, and that's up to the listener.
I did notice that, and I'm like, what's that? Could you get down, bud? Come on. Sorry about that. But no, okay. I love the way the videos are put together. It's really creative. I like the contrast of like how like much light is in particular scenes, how dark it is, just the way they're done, because I feel like music videos these days can kind of just be a little bit too flashy sometimes, and so maybe a narrative gets buried in all the flash, and like any kind of message conveyed with the video could kind of be lost because the person's distracted with everything else that's going on. But the music videos, to me, seems like there's more of a narrative there, and that's something I really like, that draws my eye. It gets me really invested in what I'm seeing. And so I'm excited for the next video that you're talking about, that you're brainstorming what that'll end up being. I know you can't say anything about it. I just want to let you know that I'm really intrigued with what's coming with the next one. And then go ahead.
So are we.
Yeah, we are also excited about everything that we're going to share with the world. We have so many songs up our sleeves, and we have so many video concepts. That's just, yeah. You have to be there. You have to see it.
I'm looking forward to it. So the what's the next one I have here? So we covered the Connect, Until I Sleep videos. You mentioned earlier the reception for the music so far has been really positive, really good. Overall, what have you guys been hearing, and what sort of like, if you could recall some of it, theories that people have had, if they've told you anything about their interpretations, like in general with the music, like, um, things like that. What can you tell me?
Well, we are both located on, all kind of social media. We're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all those. And one thing that either people really loves it, uh, like for real, and they really enjoy the mask thing, and they really dig it. And then there are the other ones saying it's a complete sleep token ripoff and all that stuff. And you know, we aren't inspired by sleep token. We only found out, I think, 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, they were playing at Copenhagen or something,
Uh huh.
and we were like, "What the hell is that?" From the first time we saw it. So just to make clear, we are not inspired by sleep token, but we can see now that we we see things
Yeah.
that
Okay,
okay,
you love their music now.
yeah, now we love it
But
because
that's not the inspiration, though. That's actually Slipknot. But yeah, that's the thing. We have been to the other band, as we mentioned before, and you have to assume that people always are gonna hold you against something. Like if you play that music, then oh, that's a copy of that music. Oh, they sound like that. It's never just good music. It's always you have to compare it. It's like the new Superman movie. You have to compare the new Superman movie to the old Superman movie. You have
Yes.
always to compare it because numbers is the key.
Yeah.
So that's the thing we mainly hear at the con side. That's that we sound like other people with masks, and we find it honored because I would love to be like Sleep Token or Slipknot and like that. But we're also trying to differentiate ourselves somehow. The masks are gonna hopefully get some upgrades at a later time, and I don't think the music is like that. But at some times we're gonna get there. But on the positive side, a lot of people are really digging the mystique and the theme and the bangers from the breakdowns right now.
Yeah. I mean, you can't help, I guess, but expect. Uh, People are always, like you point out, they're always going to compare. They're always going to want
Yeah,
to, because I
that's
think
how
that's
we
just,
do.
yeah, it's just a natural thing that people like to do because I feel like they just want to connect it to something that's already familiar for some reason. But
Yes,
when I first saw you guys and listened to the music, I didn't think of Sleep Token. I didn't think of Ghost. I didn't think of Slipknot. I just thought to myself, "Oh, hey, this is cool." The masks have their own look to it. I understand that because for Lita, for example, this part here, Vessel sort of has a similar thing right now, or did on an iteration of his mask, and then Glitch, his, I could see that too. But um, like you guys said, it's not derived from that, from Sleep Token at all. And you don't sound like Sleep Token. You don't sound like Ghost. You don't sound like Slipknot. I honestly feel like you guys have your own sound going for you. Do people draw connections to other bands? Sure, they're going to, and I'm not going to say that those connections aren't valid. They're valid to them, and I guess that's okay. But as a whole, though, Sypher is really, to me, original creative force. I don't think there's anything there that is not an original idea. Everything sounds like it's just from scratch to me. The image, just how you convey yourselves, to the way the production is and everything like that. It's got its own thing to it. And I think that over time, people are going to come to realize just that too. That might be saying things like, "Oh, why is this sleep tokenish because of your maths?" They're going to realize, "Oh, this is actually a lot more original than what I initially thought." When they take some time to step back and then look a little harder about with what you're actually doing. Over time, I think that's going to happen.
I think so too. And yeah, it's like you said, it's all right to have an opinion about things and compare. I do that too. Every
Yeah.
time I see a mass band post something, I'm like, all right, we're gonna have to avoid that to not
Mhm.
be like them. We have to make ourselves standing somewhere else from the other, so that we don't copy each other. But we draw a lot of inspiration from all the bands, a lot of
Yeah.
bands with mask too, and we all
Yeah.
see this mask thing as like a kind of family thing. You have the heroes, you have the villains, you have this kind of superhero universe, and we really love that point of view about it all.
The real life MCU or DC.
Um, like for MCU or DC, man, eh, I honestly think Marvel. You know, Marvel.
Yeah.
What'd you guys say? Are you DC or MCU? What'd you say?
I'm DC.
Here's DC. I'm a little split these days because the new Marvel movies suck.
Yeah, it's just true. It's true.
That's it.
Yeah. No, but I love
More
comics too,
Spider-Man.
man. Huh?
Yeah, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is my personal, and then Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man. So sorry, my kid keeps distracting me. And I'm like, I'm trying to focus here.
That's okay.
So I want to move things on to so it looks like for now you guys are sticking to like the single release platform. Is there going to be a compilation at some point of the songs when they're released into like an EP? Do you guys want to test out maybe thinking about an album?
I think we're thinking about an album at first. The EP is always in the mind, like if you have some sort of idea, suddenly then you can compress it to an EP.
Mm-hmm.
But as for now, I'm thinking we're going go with an album. But for now, as we said before, we're trying to make this road along the way, and the songs have to be connected.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna find, I think, our third single a lot different from our first two singles because I think we find slowly finding our way in what kind of music that is more like us and what is making Sypher.
Mm-hmm.
The first two songs are a lot more, I would say, alternative slash metalcore songs, and this new I can't really find any.
Well, the third
genre.
the third single is really experimental. It's like something else we've never done before. And well, it's when we started making Until I Sleep, Connect, and all those, we had some other we actually throw inspiration from some other bands. Like in Connect, you could like there was a comment on YouTube actually saying it was a 3 Days Grace riff, and that's not completely wrong because
Okay.
I was a little inspired by how they did those riffings. And but this third single, we don't really have inspiration anywhere. It's just like let's do something crazy and let's see what it becomes.
It was actually meant to be like a filler for an upcoming album. Like you have a song where it doesn't have to sound like the others. It just had to be there and make you feel something without actually being any kind of box. And then we were showing it live, and we some other people from the industry came and gave us some feedback and was like, "That is the way you have to go, guys. That's really the music that fits you very well." And like that, we have been tuning our songs a little bit and trying to go that way because that way was actually the most fun song to make because we really walked out the grid on that one and really took some weird choices.
Yeah, that's very intriguing. I'm trying to like conceptualize in my head or imagine what I'm going to hear when that song's released. Like a departure or something really different from the first two. And that I think is brilliant and a critical thing for bands to do and not exactly stick to that similar thing all the time. It just like you said, I think I heard you say going outside the box. And I agree with that, like entirely. Like throw something in there and just take people off guard, but they still know it's you at the same time. You know?
And also, that's the bands I listen most to. That's the bands where you, from each album, they have grown or they have gone a different way. So every time you put an album on from them, I can just keep listening because sometimes I'm gonna admit it. If I listen to an AC/DC album for too long, I'm gonna get a little bored because I think it's the same sometimes. And a lot of other bands I listen to are making bold choices and are trying to go different ways all the time. And that makes the listener, that makes me at least, want to listen to every song because I get a little pop from that one, I get a little doom from that, and I get a lot of orchestral from that song. And that's how I like my music, is to get everything from everywhere.
I wish I was it was easier for me to do. I feel like I do that to a point, but I'm kind of a snob when it comes to like popular mainstream. Not so much a lot of the rock or the metal mainstream stuff, because that still has a lot, or at least a little more of a creative feel or originality to it. Not, but at the same time, like especially in metalcore, I think metalcore right now there's a lot of the same sounding songs with it, with bands in the core of that aren't really trying a lot of things. And especially with pop music, is hard for me to want to get into because I don't hear anything in there that makes me. I like to be someone that my mind activated and intrigued and thinking about what I'm hearing with the words and the sounds going on. So you were saying you like to get a lot of different things from what you're listening to. It's not as easy for me to do that in the sense that I just said, of like listening to like a big mainstream pop artist, because I can't get anything from it, but I wish I could. You know, I'm really critical with it.
I know what you mean. I think when I listen to a song, like I can listen to a pop song and think that's really great because I think then I listen to the vocals or listen to a pattern or a melody, and I'm like, wow, that's really catchy. That's really great to have accomplished to making that one, and then I listen to something very hard and very dark metal, and I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
like maybe that voice that much, but I really like the drumming or like the riff patterns. They're making that, so I take these parts out from different music, and all right, I don't really like that song, but I like that part of the song. So at that point, I don't really. There's not much music I don't like. It's just I see some potential in every song.
yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. Get a drink real quick. Throat's drying out.
Yes.
Um, you had a question come up in my head with what you were just saying. Oh, um, would you guys consider the thought or the idea of like collaborating with other artists? Like, is that something that you're interested in doing?
Well, not at the moment, but we're not going to shoot that balloon down. It could happen, but not right now. It's
Okay.
not something that we are really thinking about.
In the old time, we wanted to do that, and I still think that some part of us in this new constellation wants to do that at some times, but it's like you haven't done it before, so you don't really know how to get started, and you have to find yourself to find out who other artists could make a good, great match for us.
I missed these comments. Sorry, I had my questions right over it, so I'm going to show the first one. Uh, may not answer this one, but going ahead of myself is the next song. .exe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I had no idea about it. And then go ahead.
Well, we can't say anything for sure right now, but maybe the next song is called Exy.
Okay.
Just maybe.
And then
Just
the
keep you
next
on your
thing that
toes.
that he said is, "I love Sleep Token so much, and it's so annoying how any new masked band gets compared to them, even when the song is completely different." Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
also well, we find it a little. I would not say frustrating because it's not really something that connects so deep with me, but it gets a little thrown off because it's not what we're trying to do. It's not what we're trying to say. So yeah, it's a little frustrating, but I guess it's just something we have to get used to
mhm.
until we get the name big and we can have a name for ourselves actually. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And then the next bit that I'm going to ask is, I don't know if I've seen this posted on your Instagram or Facebook, is if this has happened yet. I don't think it has. What is in store for as far as playing shows? Is that something a little bit far off? So for when you get more songs out there, or is it in the planning stages?
Yeah, it's a both of what you're saying because we're still making the songs as we told you before. So we have to make at least I think 40 minutes worth of a show before, and we actually have a show here in August where we have gotten a whole hour. And our set at that moment we were getting the gig were like 30 minutes long.
yeah.
So we have
35 minutes or something.
to make the last songs to get up there. And when they are done, which they should be very soon, then we have a lot more minutes to go, and then we would try to get some concerts from later.
Yes, and also when we played at a competition called Wagen Metal Battle,
Okay.
and we talked to the juries afterwards, and they were really fond of the project, and they actually imagined us being really big and going to a lot of festivals and concerts. But right now, it's when you're a new band and you are just out now, everything has already been booked.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the sad truth. One of the jurors were like, "Well, you could play at my festival, but not right now. There are not room." there, so, yeah, that's also how it goes.
Right.
So yeah, as of right now, we're primarily focusing on creating those songs and creating content and preparing ourselves to play for an hour at August. So that's
That
primarily
makes
that.
that makes the most sense to me too. I didn't think that shows would be a super high thing for you guys to prioritize at the time. So I definitely agree that the making the songs, get the output there, things in line in that sense is the better move for Sypher for sure. Yeah, but
We agree.
I'm excited for you guys for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, genuinely, I really connect with. I keep saying the name of the song, but it's just the truth. I really connect with what you guys are doing with the music. I feel the just the overall, I guess, the theme of it, the mystery of it, what I'm taking away from it personally, and how I interpret it. I think you guys, like the one of the people on the jury said, what you play, where you were at. I think they're right. I see you guys playing some festivals. Some of the bigger name festivals, probably sooner than later. You've got all the elements or whatever you want to say there for that to be something that actually happens. 100%. Just with the quality of the two songs that are out already, that's as good or better as some of the big names that are already playing those festivals. In my opinion, you're already there at least in that stint. So,
Really hoping.
um, in closing, though, what else would you guys like to say about Sypher? We've talked about there's a song that's going to be coming out and a video that's being worked on. Uh, Probably the album that's going to be happening, and that's very exciting. What else could you guys say in closing to kind of intrigue people before we go?
Well, first of all, it's Sypher is not just a band; it's a story. So you have to keep along and be there when everything happens, because in 10 years you're late. So stay tuned and try to catch up with everything we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And you'll get rewarded. Music and storyline and lore and all that kind of stuff.
I'm definitely paying attention, very much so. And what about you, Glitch?
I would say for the moment, what we're making of with the music right now, I'm really excited to show people this new side of Sypher that we're working on. And maybe some other people have heard that kind of music before, maybe not. I can't put a finger on it yet, but I think someday I'm gonna find the right thing for it. But I'm really excited to play these new songs and just make something different from the first two.
No, I'm very excited for that. I want to hear that really bad. It's just my mind is just buzzing with curiosity surrounding this mystery song that you're working on. I love departures. I said that already, but I love departures. I like those left turns. I think they're always a great idea to introduce to a fan base and get them just kind of thrown, but in a positive way. Of course, you might get the negative in hand with that. It's just, expect it. You never know with people.
Yeah, you stick your head out, you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and do this bit for you guys. I'm just going to let people know that they can find you on Facebook. They can find you on Instagram. You're on YouTube. You have both of your music videos on there right now for Until I Sleep and Connect is available on there. You can find all their music on the major streaming platforms, Apple Music, I think Deezer, just the usual ones. Please check them out. Really great stuff. I love it. Big fan. Keep up with announcements from them, please. Like they just said, follow along to get the complete story, because if you miss something, you're going to be a little bit lost. So,
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on, guys. Like I said at the start of this, before we went live, I'm happy it worked out this time. I was a little worried there for a minute because I was thinking I was going to get an overtime shift at my job on this day, but I didn't, and I was very grateful for that. So I'm really glad this worked out. I really love talking with you. And just I really want to hammer it home that you guys are great. I really love your music. I mean that wholeheartedly. And hopefully this gets people, at least if I get one new person listening to your music, liking your pages, I've done my part, and I'll be happy. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. And please, if you want to come back on, just let me know, and we'll do this again.
It could be fun.
Yes, and we are looking forward to seeing what you guys think of the new song once it gets here, and also Connect and Until I Sleep.
Yes. Thank you for coming on, and we'll be in touch, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.